Not everyone in your life was sent by Allah. Some people were placed as tests, even as distractions. And if you're seeing these signs, it may be Allah telling you it's time to let them go. So, how do you know? How do you recognize when Allah Himself is trying to remove someone from your life? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's begin. Sign 1. It starts in secrecy. You know how most of these stories begin. Quietly, nobody else knows. At first, it feels exciting, like you've built a private world only the two of you can enter. But over time, secrecy starts to feel heavy. You can't bring their name up at home. You can't even make dua for them with a clean heart, because deep down you know this path isn't halal yet. And that's the question. If someone is truly written for you, why can't you mention them in daylight? Why does the story only survive in silence, in hiding, in shadows? The truth is, Allah honors you. He doesn't write love that requires you to be erased. If a connection can't breathe in the open, maybe it was never meant to last. Sign 2. Boundaries begin to blur. At the start, you told yourself, we'll keep it clean, we'll keep it halal, and maybe you did for a while. The calls were short. The messages stayed simple. You tried to set lines, but slowly the lines started moving. A late-night message that turns into an hour, a quick meet that turns into something heavier, a joke that turns into words you never thought you'd say. Every time you try to put the brakes, they test it. Every time you feel guilty, they brush it off. Don't be so extreme. It's not that deep. Everyone does it. And that's when the guilt begins to swallow you. You make wudu. You stand to pray, but the conversation replays in your head. You put your phone down, but your heart is racing. You're torn between not wanting to lose them and not wanting to lose Allah. Ask yourself honestly, do they guard your dignity or gamble with it? Do they pull you closer to Allah or keep daring you to step further away? Because here's the painful truth. Love that survives only by crossing lines isn't love. It's a trap. And when those boundaries keep getting blurred, maybe Allah is showing you, this isn't the one to hold on to. Sign 3. You start losing yourself. In the beginning, you felt alive. Butterflies, excitement, energy. But slowly, something started changing. You're not laughing the way you used to. You're not yourself with your family anymore. You're snapping at people who love you because your emotions are always somewhere else. You used to pray with focus. Now, salah feels like guilt chasing you. You used to have plans, hobbies, dreams. Now most of your energy is spent fixing arguments, overthinking texts, or carrying the weight of someone else's moods. And here's the hardest part. You don't even recognize yourself anymore. The old you, confident, grounded, close to Allah, is fading. And the new you feels smaller, weaker, constantly anxious. That's not what love written by Allah does. The right person doesn't erase you. They don't make you feel like a stranger in your own skin. If being with someone empties you instead of filling you, if you're always exhausted, always apologizing, always drained, maybe Allah is showing you this isn't where your soul belongs, because real love doesn't cost you yourself. If you're losing yourself just to keep them, you're not in a relationship. You're in a slow destruction. And sometimes Allah's mercy is in cutting you loose before you lose yourself completely. Sign 4. They're not there when life gets hard. Love looks strong when life is easy. When you're spending on outings, when gifts are flowing, when the lifestyle looks shiny, everyone looks loyal. But the real test shows up the moment money gets tight. And that's where so many people see the truth. The minute you say, I can't afford that right now, their tone changes. The moment a bill is delayed or plans don't include spending, they become distant. When your risk slows down, so does their attention. It's painful because you realize they were never really here for you. They were here for the image, the comfort, the things you could provide. The wrong person disappears when the money does. But if Allah is removing someone from your life, this is often how He shows it. He lets you see their love was never rooted in you. It was rooted in what you gave. And when that giving stops, so do they. Ask yourself, who stood next to you when life humbled you? Who made you feel small because of what you couldn't give? And who reminded you that rizq comes from Allah, not from your pockets? Because people who vanish the moment money gets tight, that's not heartbreak, that's clarity. And sometimes Allah closes their chapter in your life through the test of finances before they drain you completely. Sign 5. Life feels heavier, not lighter. One of the clearest signs Allah may be pulling someone away is when everything around you starts to feel heavier. Not just your heart, your life. You're still holding on to them, but suddenly your days feel blocked. Your focus slips. Your money doesn't stretch. Your health feels drained. Even small things that used to be simple now feel like uphill battles. And deep down, you know it's not random. Because when something is written for you, even in the tests, Allah places a strange kind of ease. But when you're forcing something that isn't written, life keeps tightening, no matter how hard you push. This doesn't mean the person is cursed or that they're evil. It means Allah might be protecting you by showing you that clinging to them is stealing your energy, your clarity, your peace. So look at the pattern. Do you feel lighter without them and heavier with them? Do your days move forward cleanly when there's distance, but collapse into noise when you're close? That heaviness might be Allah's mercy, pushing you to let go before you lose more of yourself. Sign 6. Your loved ones keep warning you. Sometimes Allah doesn't show you the truth directly. He shows it through the people who love you most, the ones who've known you for years, the ones who can see the change in you before you even admit it to yourself. You've probably heard it. A parent says, "You've changed since you met them." A sibling tells you, "You're always upset now." A friend pulls you aside and says, "This doesn't feel like you anymore." And instead of listening, you get defensive. They don't understand. They're overreacting. They just don't want me to be happy. But here's the painful truth. Sometimes they see what you can't, because you're too deep inside it. Love blinds, but the people on the outside can see the cracks more clearly than you. Ask yourself, are the same warnings coming from more than one person who genuinely cares for you? People who love Allah and love you? That's not noise. That might be Allah's mercy, putting truth on their tongues. You don't have to obey every opinion. But when the people who've always wanted the best for you all start sounding the same alarm, ignoring it isn't loyalty, it's self-destruction. Sign 7. Your heart feels heavier. Staying than leaving. There's a moment in every struggle where the outside doesn't even matter anymore. Not the opinions, not the excuses, just how your own chest feels when you're with them. You stay and you feel restless. Your sleep is shallow. Your mind is noisy. Every silence between you feels heavier than words. You keep telling yourself, it's just a phase, it'll get better. But deep down, you know, the weight isn't lifting. And then you imagine distance. You picture walking away. For the first time in months, your mind clears. Your salah feels lighter. Your chest breathes again. That sudden peace isn't weakness. That's Allah showing you where your soul is safe. Because love written by Allah doesn't choke you. It doesn't keep you trapped in constant anxiety. If holding on feels like drowning and letting go feels like breathing, That's not confusion. That's direction. Sign 8. They never walk the road forward. One of the clearest signs comes when everything is always later. We'll involve the families later. We'll make it serious later. We'll figure things out when the time is right. And you wait. Days turn into months, months into years. You keep holding on to promises, but nothing ever changes. No clarity, no serious steps, just delays wrapped in sweet words. Here's the thing, when someone truly intends khair for you, they move. Maybe not fast, maybe not perfect, but forward. Families are involved. Plans are made. Timelines are clear. Effort is visible. Because marriage in Islam was never meant to be an endless waiting game. But when Allah is removing someone, He exposes this cycle of someday that never becomes today. And deep down, you know it. The more you wait, the more you feel your time, your peace, your youth slipping through your fingers. Love that's written for you won't keep you trapped in a shadow. It will step into the light. If someone refuses to walk the road forward, maybe Allah is telling you the road was never meant to be walked with them. And maybe that's the whole point of these signs. They're not here to make you suspicious of everyone or to turn you cold. They're here to wake you up when you've been holding on too tightly to someone Allah never wrote for you. But let's be real, not everything we just covered will match everyone's story. Some of you are thinking, what if I saw one of these signs but not the others? Others are thinking, what if I already ignored these signs for years? Does that mean I ruined my chance? And some of you are feeling, what if I'm the one who was the distraction in someone else's life? Listen carefully. Just because one sign showed up doesn't mean the whole relationship is doomed. And just because you missed the signs doesn't mean Allah abandoned you. Sometimes these lessons come early to protect you. Sometimes they come late to guide you back. But they always come from Allah's mercy. And if you feel guilty because you crossed lines, or you stayed longer than you should have, remember this. Guilt is not proof that you're broken. Guilt is proof that your heart still cares. Tawbah resets everything. Every dua is a new door. Every return to Allah can rewrite your story cleaner than it was before. And if you're scared of letting go, scared of being alone, know this. Being alone with Allah is better than being together in a bond that pulls you away from Him. Sometimes the loneliness you fear is actually the space Allah clears, so He can send you someone better, someone written, someone who doesn't require you to erase yourself just to keep them. So, don't leave this video hopeless. Leave it with trust. Trust that Allah's plan is not to punish you, but to protect you. Trust that what is written for you will come. Not late, not early, not wrong. Exactly when it's meant to. May Allah grant you the strength to let go of what was never written for you, the patience to wait for what is, and the clarity to recognize His mercy in both. Ameen. And if you made it this far, drop this dua in the comments. May Allah grant us what is best for us. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because someone you know might need this reminder right now.